In a world where smartphones dominate our every waking moment, one device dares to do less on purpose. This is the Light Phone 2, a phone designed not to pull you in, but to let you go. The Light Phone 2 is a minimalist mobile phone. It's not smart. It's intentional. It features a matte e-ink display, physical buttons, and a stripped down OS called Light OS. There's no app store, no social media. There's not even a web browser. You only get the essentials: phone, text, alarm, simple navigation, music and podcast playback, and of course, a calculator. This isn't a budget burner phone, it's a purpose-built device, and that purpose is narrow by design. iPhone 2 isn't for everyone, and it's not trying to be. It won't edit your photos, sync your calendar, or feed you content. But maybe that's exactly why it matters. This phone won't change your life, you will. Once you create space for it and the Light Phone 2, it simply gets out of the way. If you're tired of being constantly connected, maybe the smartest choice is the simpler one. Using the Light Phone 2 feels like stepping into silence. You become more present, more bored at first. You really do. It's actually really funny. But eventually, more available to your own thoughts. Let's get into some of the features and some of their limitations, admittedly. You can make calls and send texts on this phone. The calls are actually totally fine. If anything, it actually feels super fun for me to just have this little guy in the palm of my hand and just kind of talk with it. It low-key feels like a toy, but the weight of it doesn't feel like a toy. It definitely has some like nice premium weight to it. So being able to just call on this phone is pretty good. And I would say that the mic on this thing is very responsive, as well as the speaker. It's definitely clear enough for you to like hear whoever's talking on the other side. So very good, thumbs up on that point. However, when it comes to texting, I think this is the caveat that a lot of people are not gonna like, because texting requires you to turn the phone horizontally. That's the way, the orientation I'm talking about, horizontally, and requires you to tap on the screen and each key. Again, the e-ink display is slow and not super hyper responsive like smartphones, so it's gonna take a minute to send a text message. However, it allows you to slow down and really think about what you're sending a message to, because I can bet that a vast majority of you have taken your smartphone and have texted something so fast, especially with the autocorrect popping up, that like you low-key don't even realize what you're typing. You're just kind of responding really fast. And I feel like with the Light Phone, it allows you to really think and kind of feel like you're actually having like a genuine conversation with someone else on the other side. That's my take. I used the Light Phone 2 for a few months when I first purchased it about a year ago, and on the first day, I checked my pocket for nothing, a lot. There was nothing that I needed to see. I would leave my smartphone just somewhere out of reach, whether I was driving. I would keep it with me, but I actively like kept it in a different spot just because of work purposes and stuff. But my primary phone that I used was the Light Phone 2. I would use it to call and text people if I wanted to listen to music or listen to a podcast, pop my earbuds in, and then I would just, start it from this guy. Another cool thing that they also have on this phone is because it has Bluetooth, you can connect it to most, if not, I believe all cars that allow you to connect the phone via Bluetooth so that you can listen to your music from the phone to your car. So pretty cool little feature there. A few days in, probably I would say within that first week, I found that I was doing more, I was far more productive, and I really was using my phone less. To not use it that much seems kind of silly, but again, your time and your energy and even your money is so much more valuable than the amount of time that you spend just doom scrolling your smartphone. It just, the trade-off just doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm sure it probably, just hearing that, doesn't really make sense to you either. So I feel like having a phone like this definitely like allows you to be able to be more present. All right, let's get into what we will just call the cons for the sake of simplicity right now. First one, the typing is pretty slow. It's not great. I wish it was a little more intuitive, just a little bit, just for, you know, I mean, I guess that's the point, right? Is to like slow you down and all, but you kind of do get a little frustrated. If you miss a key, then you gotta like press the other key back. So it just, for my opinion and my liking, I think I would love for it to be just a little more responsive, but it's what you get, right? The navigation is extremely basic. There's not like, the way it works is that, or no, yeah, navigation is just downright basic. It's not like Google Maps. It's not like even Apple Maps, as simple as that one can be. It's just takes you from point A to point B. That's it. Software updates are sparse. However, there are software updates, which is really nice to know, because then at least like the phone is still updating. It's not like a one and done type of thing, and then eventually it gets too outdated where it doesn't even work anymore. It's pretty, at least there are updates, which is, like, in my opinion, very like a good, like it's a pro really. There's no camera, there's no email, there's no browsing. The browsing obviously is one of the big reasons why we get stuck into our phones, because of the access to internet and your emails as well. However, because there's no access to either of those things, it's pretty great that we can actually, you know, stay focused on what we're doing rather than stay focused on a screen. And the lack of a camera, that was one of my big things for it as well. I didn't even realize that it didn't have a camera, to be honest, until I bought it. And then I was like, oh, wait, this is kind of strange. There's no camera on this thing. So, but yeah, the fact that it doesn't have a camera kind of makes it a little sucky. But one thing that I did find after purchasing it was that I also already had a camera that was, you know, it's just solely for photography or videography. And at the time, that was a really cool way to just kind of give each device that I had a predominant purpose and use case. Whereas like with an iPhone, or just, I'm saying the iPhone right now because that's what I own. It's a smart device. It has a phone. It has internet access. It basically is like a computer in like just 5 inches of, you know, existence. But it allows you to do all these things, but it's almost paralyzing to the average human, and we don't even realize it because it just has like too much data and too much like accessibility that it doesn't really, you can't really find like any one purpose for it, because you're going to get distracted by all the other features that it has. So by, I guess, delegating these tasks to specific devices, it kind of allows you to like hyper focus on like something specific so that you can actually get stuff done, because, well, in this overly distracting social media world that we live in right now, it's really hard to get out of that thing. It's like tree sap, man. You just get stuck in it, and it's so hard to get the hell out. So some of the cons, but honestly are the major pros to this device, because it was its full intended use, really, is the fact that you won't be finding anything like your emails, no YouTube. There isn't even a camera on this thing. You won't, and especially because of all of these smart features that come in smartphones that grab your attention and distract you for most of your day, you'll be finding that there are like no notifications at all. The closest you'll get to a notification is on the home screen. As soon as you turn it on, there's going to be a little asterisk. I don't know how to say that word. The little star icon is going to show up next to the time, And that's how you'll know you have a notification. That's really just the notification of either you got a phone call and you missed it, or somebody sent you a message. Only two main things you're gonna need off of that, because that's what a phone was made for. It was to communicate, not to get distracted on and just be on it 24/7. The learning curve isn't in how to use it, it's in unlearning the habits tied to your old smartphone. Navigation is GPS based, functional yet basic. You can listen to music through the speaker or Bluetooth, and there's a podcast tool as well. I really love connecting my AirPod Pros to this little guy. Being able to listen to my music with quality sound is very nice. The speaker is a little lackluster, however. It does sound a little staticky if you try to raise it up to the top, but it's nice if you want to listen to a podcast or listen to some music just kind of off to the side for a little bit. It's also a really great choice as well, but I think for the most part, most of us do kind of prefer a headset of some kind. It's great that it has Bluetooth, so we're all good to go there. The display is a black and white e-ink screen. A lot of y'all probably have seen something like this, like an Amazon Kindle. It's probably the most popular device that has used and applied this same kind of technology in their device. It's not fast, but it's sharp, battery friendly, and perfectly visible in bright daylight, which is one of my favorite pros to this phone. Being outside in the peak of summer, I am able to see every single word with ease compared to an iPhone where the nits are not quite high enough so that I can actually see what's going on my phone. You kind of have to cast a shadow over the phone to be able to see anything, which makes it almost unusable. Whereas on this phone, on the Light Phone 2, you are actually able to use it no matter where you are. However, one caveat to that is the flip side, which is at night, you can't see anything. Well, okay, that's a lie. You can still see, it does have a little black backlit display. However, it's not the best in my opinion, but it works, it does its job, and you'll be grateful that it's there. It's not about going backwards in time. No. It's about taking control. Dang it. The design is so minimalist, it's literally utilitarian, but it's thoughtful. A matte polycarbonate shell makes it lightweight, durable, and gives it a very low profile. It charges using micro USB, which is a bit ancient at this point. Most of us don't even know what that is anymore, but it uses a physical SIM card and supports up to 4G LTE, which in my opinion is all you need on this phone. You don't need any of the new 5G network or even the crazy 10G stuff that a bunch of companies are starting to advertise nowadays. And honestly, the lack of a touchscreen is part of its charm and its challenge. And of course, lastly, the price. It's $300. It's not that great considering what it offers and the sizing and all that good stuff. However, the point of it again is not about what exactly what features it has and the utilities. It's just about giving you your time back. It's you're paying $300 now so that you can have your focus and your time and allocate that into other things to actually have significantly more productivity and significantly more joy and happiness in your life. Or you pay $1,000 for the newest iPhone and you spend significantly more time on that thing that gives you none of your time back. You just waste it on doom scrolling or just complete nonsensical stuff that have no value, that are adding no value to your life. And I just feel in the long run, this guy is the better option. Am I wrong here? So, at the end of the day, what's the verdict? The iPhone 2 will not replace your iPhone or Android, but it can change your relationship with tech. It's not about going backwards in time. No. It's about taking control of your time.